Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Wilder Girls by Rory Power. So we follow our main character Hetty, and she's at the Raxter School for Girls, which is currently under quarantine because they are infected with the tox. So no one really knows what the tox is, but it is making things grow out of these girls that shouldn't be there. So basically they are waiting on a cure from the CDC. So one day Hetty's best friend Bayet goes missing, and she will do anything to get her back, even break quarantine and face the horrors of what lies beyond the fence. So this was one of my most anticipated reads of 2019. This was marketed as sapphic horror, and horror's not really my thing, but I love sapphic stuff, so I figure I'd give it a go. This unfortunately didn't live up to the hype for me personally, mainly because of the pacing. If the pacing was better, I'd probably given it 4 stars, but it was mentioned somewhere in the book that all these events took course over a period of 1 week, I think, and that kind of blew my mind because I don't know if it should have been like a day or a month, but it just didn't seem like a week. Like at times the story felt rushed, and at times it felt very, very slow. I wasn't even sure like what the climax was. There were like a lot of things happening at one time, and this book it's not that big, and it felt like all these things kind of jumbled together. So I want to talk about the relationship in this book. I liked the relationship. It was like my favorite thing in the book, but it did still seem like a little forced, and I don't know, it's just they kind of go from like 1 minute they don't even like each other, like it's not hate, it's just that they honestly just don't like each other, and then suddenly like they're in love, and I don't like that. I'm not going to mention like which characters because you don't find out till like later in the book, but I don't know, I liked it just because I like the trope of, oh, you were looking at me all along. Like I love that trope, but that's why I didn't mind like how it seemed forced. But yeah, I wish it was more of like a slow burn. And my favorite things in books are the friendships, so the friendships are really important to me. And the main friendship is Bayet and Hetty, obviously. Hetty makes it clear from the get-go that she loves Bayet like a sister. Like she says, like she is her lifeline. But I don't know, it didn't seem like Bayet reciprocated that. Like I felt like that was totally one-sided, which I did not like at all. So now I just want to talk about the characters and like what I felt for them. So Hetty, the main character, was very bland to me. I don't know, I just didn't feel much. Like even when she was in danger, I just didn't feel that fear you should feel when you're reading from a character's perspective. It just didn't seem like Bayet's personality shined through, but I did like Reese a lot. I felt like her personality was more like rounded out. Her character arc, like we could see in her past with her dad why she acts the way she acts, like even though I don't like some of the decisions she made and how she acted towards certain characters. So I don't know if it was the author's goal to make Bayet a main or side character, but I definitely felt like she was a side character. I don't really feel like I got to know her very well at all, even though there are POVs in her perspective in this book. There's just POVs from Bayet and Hetty. Although we don't get to know her very much, I love her POVs. I like it more than Hetty's just because we get a sense of what the tox really is and what the CDC is doing in her perspective. So I got through this book relatively quickly. It was a really fast read just because I felt like one thing would happen and then another thing would just immediately pop up, and I wanted to read that. It still grabbed my attention, but I just really did not like the pacing. Like that's my one complaint. I felt like the last 50 pages really dragged. It took me longer to read that than like the whole middle of the book. And then the end was like really abrupt. Like nothing was really wrapped up, and I just really don't like endings like that. It felt like honestly it was being set up for a sequel. So I will link my Goodreads review down below. Basically said the same thing, but I would love to hear your guys' views on it. I hope I didn't seem too harsh because I still give it 3.5 stars. I still really enjoyed it. I got through the book relatively quickly even though I'm a slow reader, But yeah, the pacing was just what was really off for me. I know a lot of readers like their books to be very plot based and not very heavy on the romance, but I am the opposite. I know this is horror, so you'd want more of a plot, but I did like the dynamic and how they interacted with each other. I just wish I could have seen them more than what happened in the book. Yeah, guys, so that's it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts and kind of compare notes. So yeah, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys next time.